All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye. Oh my gosh, my camera ain't even on. Coming to you again with a brand new show. That's right, you're through to the filthy, casual, and hardcore show. And as always, my co-host is with me. Happy Independence Day to my boy Ola. Sell it to people.
Yeah. Happy Independence Day to you as well, my G. It's been a long day, but a good day for us to celebrate our Independence Day, and it doesn't just go alone. It goes with the beginning of Black History Month. So it's always nice. It's always nice when they go hand in hand together like that. But
Yeah,
yeah, happy Independence Day, man.
right. No problem, man. So let's kick it. We're
Well,
gonna
before
talk.
we kick it, I must say your barber did an excellent work on you. You're out here looking fresh,
You know,
looking neat,
you know.
laser cut. Yeah, man.
You know what?
Gotta hand it
I
to your
know
barber,
my
man.
haircut must have been overdue because sometimes, right, I have a haircut, no one says shit, right? Today, I shit you not, every single person in my team said, "Oh, you had a haircut."
Yeah,
This, I'm like, fucking hell, okay.
yeah, looking hella fresh out here.
So, yeah, definitely well needed, but very much needed. But anyway, so for those of you Arsenal fans, but you're not really UFC fans, stick around. Might interest you. What we're going to talk
Okay.
about is the big Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. Think I'm just about getting there with the surname.
Boy, you got that right. You got that
Yeah,
right. That's good.
fight on Saturday. So if you're wondering why we're doing it this early, because quite frankly, there's a fucking midweek game for the Arsenal game. Then I got to do a preview game for the Arsenal game. Then I got to do a review for this fight. You're going to see me a lot this week. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So, so let's get right into it. Conor McGregor and Khabib. This is going to be just in context for those people who are not that familiar with UFC and are watching this particular show of ours for the very first time. How big of a fight is this in UFC history? You're the hardcore guy when it comes to UFC and MMA. How big is this fight?
But this is probably the biggest fight in UFC history, and they've had some pretty cool fights. They've had some fantastic cards, but
Mm.
this one is right up there in terms of what's been done to get here. How long these two guys has been antagonizing each other. Um,
They used to be friends, though.
they used to be friends, but idols become rivals and all that. You
True.
know what I mean? So when that happens, it's set up for a good bout, and I'm shocked that we've had to wait this long to get this fight, but I'm equally ecstatic that we are finally here. Is the final week to fight week. This fight is so big, and one of the other reasons why it's so big is nobody knows the outcome. Nobody can really guess where the outcome is gonna go, and it's incredible. It's a what I have to you gotta hand it to Dana on this one. As much as you try and criticize Dana on a lot of things, which rightfully so, I have to
Rightfully
say,
so. I was going
rightfully
to say.
so. You have to criticize him on a few things, but putting this fight together, I gotta give him credit on that one, man. He definitely, we'll wait till fight night, but to me, it looks like it's going the right direction, and everybody's fears of Khabib maybe not making it. At, as the show goes on, I'll put everybody's mind at rest that Khabib looks like he's going to be making this fight.
Well, so the funny thing is, so let's address the title I put on this thing. So I put on this. I know that Khabib is the slight favorite with hardcore MMA people. They generally believe that Khabib will maul Conor. Um, Having said that, let me ask you, as the hardcore MMA guy, would it be that much of a shock if Conor knocks out Khabib?
No, it wouldn't, because we all know what Conor's left hand is like. We know he's got a fantastic left hand, and if he catches anybody with it, it's lights out, and that's Conor's plan. Going into this fight, in my opinion, his whole plan, his whole idea is to agitate Khabib so bad that Khabib is gonna come forward, gonna leave his chin hanging, and Conor, if there is a, I don't know anybody else that's so precise with with hitting somebody's chin at such an angle with momentum, enough momentum to put your lights out. It's Conor. Conor is the master at it, and is what goes in Conor's favor as well is the distances he puts himself between him and his opponents. So
he's got a tremendous. He's very good at range. Like
he's fantastic at range. He times his range. He knows the distance he needs to give his opponent to. He almost does it the same kind of way that Tyron Woodley does it. He'll give you enough space, back up enough to catch you with the momentum of moving backward. Stipe does it every now and again as well.
I think Conor puts his chin out there a little bit more than Tyron, but I see why you say that. Yeah.
So in that type of way, Conor knows what he has to do to tag Khabib. But then again, Khabib is not the type of fighter that goes out to hide his chin. He will bring his chin to you. Yeah. So the question everybody should be asking is not, can Conor knock Khabib out? The question everybody should be asking is, how good is Khabib's chin? Yeah. Because he's got a hell of a chin. And I'm telling you, he gets tagged a lot. He's been tagged by so many fighters.
Yeah, Michael Johnson.
He's a knockout artist. Yeah. Knockout artist. I mean, Ala Quinta is a motherfucker in the cage. He's another knockout artist. And this guy, he handed his chin to them. And they didn't seem to get it done. But then, they're not Conor. They are not Conor. And Dana White already said it. Conor's like a unicorn. Yeah. He's exception to the rule in some ways. He's a unique fighter, and his ability to fuck you up mentally so he can gain advantage of you in the cage is second to none. I haven't seen anyone that does it as good as he does it. Some will even almost liken him to the way Muhammad Ali used to fuck people up mentally before he gets them in the ring. That's how good Conor is with his mouth. But then he goes to back it up in the cage. Yeah. And it's such an exciting fight. It's incredible. I can't wait. I'm so looking forward to it.
What do you think? What are you most looking forward to? Because I must admit, me being the casual guy with MMA, I like the razzmatazz of UFC because I've seen some boring fucking UFC fights. In fact, I've seen some boring Bellator fights as well. For me, I like that kind of razzmatazz that Conor brings to it. Well, for example, if you take his first presser, it was fucking ridiculous. But I ain't gonna lie to you, I watched the whole thing engaged as well. It was like my man had me. I was engaged because I was so fascinated with how Khabib can be so calm in the face of that. I mean, my days, my man was questioning not only him, but his family as well. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what the hell? But fair play, Khabib, this is a calm before the storm. He just switched off to all of it. He was just like, he bit a couple of times, and then I think he caught himself, and then he was like, you know what? Cool. Just watch. Just watch. And that's what I really liked about it.
So it's good that you brought Khabib in because we've said a lot of pros about Conor.
God.
And, we also got to say some pros about Khabib.
Yep.
And in my opinion, I think coming into this fight, Conor's done absolutely exceptional with this presser.
Yeah.
And Khabib already knows he lost. He lost this presser already.
Yeah.
There's no point fighting a losing battle with Conor. One, English is not his first language.
Yeah.
So that's a loss.
Yeah.
Two, Conor owns Dana White. So that's a loss. That's a loss. So there's all these factors.
Let's just be real. Yeah.
Conor owns Dana White. He demands what he wants.
Yeah.
So that's a loss. So there's this mindset that Khabib has walked into that press conference in that, okay, I'm going to take the L on things that I can't control.
Yeah.
Things that's out of my control. I'm going to take an L on that. But what I can control, we will talk about it properly when we get in the cage.
And he will literally talk to him while he beats him up.
So Khabib has not promised... Khabib has promised everyone, including Dana, that during the fight, I will talk to Conor and I will talk to Dana while he's cage side and ask Dana, so what's happening now? What's happening with your boy now? What's going on? All this presser, all this proper 12, all this drink, they can't save him in the cage. Now what? This is the promises, quote unquote, what Khabib said on ESPN today. I've been following a lot of what's been going on, and he's really calm. He's already said, look, this guy can talk about my father, he can talk about my country, he can talk about all of this stuff. It doesn't bother me. He said, I'm not Jose Aldo.
Exactly.
He said, I'm not Jose Aldo. I'm not Eddie Alvarez. I'm not any of these guys. I'm a complete different set of problems for Conor. He said the problems that I'm bringing is different to those guys. My state of mind is calm because I already know, this is his words, these things that Conor's talking about is out of my control. And whatever's out of my control, I do not concern myself with.
I watched the interview you're quoting from. Forget the damn words. Did you see his fucking face?
He's been sparring. He's been taking punches on the face.
Sparring.
So you seen that he's been taking leaks. Yeah. And when I saw that, and I thought,
there's a massive shine up. Literally, anyone who wants to watch this, just type Khabib fucking interview recently. Trust, I'm even looking at that picture of it right now.
Go and look at it.
There's a massive shiner right
It's almost like somebody is handcuffed Khabib and say, just give me your face and let me turn it into a punching bag.
Let me see if I could just take it.
Exactly.
His face looks fucked up. He looks like he's had a couple of fights.
You will also know what he said in that presser, that interview that he had, that Conor will have to kill me to beat me. Did he say that or not? Quote unquote. Conor will have to end me. He'll have to kill me to beat me. And when I look in his eyes, I sense he means business. And he already said, I'm not going to rush the fight. Conor wants me to rush. He wants to get me agitated. I'm not going to rush with him. I'm going to be patient with him.
He wants to punish him for
he said, I want to make him pay. I want to punish him. They asked him, if you get the chance to finish Conor in the first minute of the first round, what would you do? He said, I might do, I might not, but I'm not interested in doing any of that. I want to batter him. I just want to torture him. I want to maul him in there. These were his words. You seen the interview, and in my opinion, I mean, people are saying in the comments, CeeLo AFC, big up yourself. Arun Khanna, big up yourself as well. Gunnar Michael, all of you lot staying with us in the comments. Shout out to all you, man. They're saying Khabib got rocked by Michael Johnson, for fuck's sake. And we understand that.
Yeah.
But
it's... let's equal it out. Conor got taken down by Chad Mendes.
Exactly.
Come on,
exactly that. Even before Chad Mendes. Oh, even after Chad Mendes, shall I say. Eddie Alvarez got Conor on the cage. Yeah, Conor got away because Eddie Alvarez is not on the level of grappling that Khabib's on. Now, when Khabib gets you on the cage, it's like a water blanket on you. You ain't getting him off. You're not going anywhere. He just keeps you there. The one thing you can do is just keep him at range, jab, 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 and rack up your points. That will be my advice. And when Conor sees the opening, if you can switch him off, then switch him off. But I really don't think the fight's gonna go like that. But it's early in the night to talk about where the fight's gonna go. So I'll let you lead the way.
All right. So I mean, let's talk. You know what? Let's put a pin in this Khabib and Conor thing. We'll come back to it, and let's talk about the fucking Chiefs support. Fucking Tony Ferguson versus Pettis. That shit is just flying under the radar.
It's flying under the radar.
That's
Thank you for bringing that up.
Fucking hell.
For bringing that up. I mean, this is a massive, massive bout. This is a big bout. I can't express it good enough how good this card is, and it's to me it's a main event card. Yeah. Obviously, it's coming as co-main event, but this is a main event level fucking fight, and it's another one that I don't know how it's gonna end because Pettis has been on a roll, and whenever him and his brother Sergio is fighting in the prelims, so Sergio's fighting Yuzia Formiga, and whenever those two fight in the same night, they always win. They're always going to celebrate, and I don't think I think it's a B.
Their fights are never boring.
That's why Pettis is Showtime. It's called Showtime.
Never boring. But even Ferguson, I don't really see Ferguson in boring fights. They tend to be like intriguing fights. So I think that the two are going to bring out something in each other. Obviously, Ferguson is in there just in case one of either Khabib or Conor.
Exactly. But if you watch Conor's interview that I sent you earlier on today, he already said he's not even interested in none of that. All he wants is Khabib at this point. He is not interested in fighting Ferguson. He's not interested in fighting Pettis. He's not interested in fighting any of those guys.
Yeah, but Ferguson's a nightmare matchup for fucking Conor. Because how the hell do you prepare?
I mean, if I were him, I wouldn't take the fight neither.
The man does parkour,
because there's no point preparing for someone like Khabib for the last God knows how long, and then all of a sudden you end up getting Tony Ferguson, who is a completely different set of problems as well. He comes with his own set of a difficult approach, and he's an awkward fighter. He's probably one of the most, him and I would say Stephen Wonderboy. Yeah. Those two are probably the most awkward fighters anyone would ever fight. When you come against those two in the octagon, it's just how do you handle these guys? Because you could say you're going to take Ferguson to the ground, keep him on the ground. This guy fights off his back like no other. I don't see anyone that fights off his back like Tony Ferguson. And, that's been the problem. And as much as I would say I like this fight with Conor against Khabib, that's the fight that I really wanted to see.
Well, Khabib
Ferguson and Ferguson, and see how Khabib handles people that fight off their back. Yeah. Because the problem with everyone that's Khabib has fought so far is when Khabib takes them down, they get worried about they just want to get up and they just start scrambling. They've not actually faced the problem square run off their back and try and fight Khabib back. If Khabib has never had somebody off their back, chucking elbows, slicing him up in his face, fighting off his back like that. So
I mean, but that in itself is quite interesting because is Conor that poor on his back? When I've seen him on his back against the Mendes fight, to be fair, he looked reasonably comfortable.
He held his own. But then let's not forget that Chad Mendes took that fight on a few days' notice.
There's notice.
He weren't even prepared to take this fight. He took this fight, sat on his sofa, and he thought, fuck it, I'll just go for it. Imagine if Chad Mendes had time, had the proper 3-month, 4-month camp going into that fight. I don't know if Conor would have survived off his back like that. But then you still have to give respect to Conor for holding his own off his back in that fight there. And Uriah Faber said it the best. Nobody knows what Conor has been doing for the last couple of years.
Last couple of years, bro.
And Conor knew he was going to get this fight.
Grand plan.
Conor already knew he was going to have this fight. Nobody knows what Conor's been doing, what he's been doing to prepare. He might have been working on his wrestling, his jiu-jitsu for the last year. He's got the money, he's got the finance to do it. He's got the means to get the best coaches, get them into hotels. They're gonna love it. Fly them into hotels and that. And Conor's got the finances to do that. He's just got 100 million payout. And to me, I think Conor's not, as much as he comes up with this persona, he ain't a mug. He's not stupid. Yes. Conor is one of the most cleverest motherfuckers I know. He is a clever bastard, and I think he will find ways to try and get under Khabib's skin some more, because from the interviews that we've seen about Khabib, it looks like Khabib is just shrugging everything off at the moment, and will Conor actually overstep the mark? Because we've seen him go extra. Remember when they were chucking cans and that with Nate Diaz? He was on one end of the room, Nate was on the other end of the room. Nate
was in his head. I would argue both fights. Nate, that was the one time I saw someone get into Conor's head, was the Nate Diaz fight.
That's because Nate can talk shit too, and he can speak English real good.
And Nate he don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck.
He really doesn't. I love Nate. I love Nate, man. I love his brother even more. Nick Diaz is an animal, and
he's got problems with that Portier fight, though.
I mean, like my brethren behind me here always said in that Scarface movie there, fuck the Diaz brothers. But you gotta love those guys, man. Those guys don't give a fuck. I mean, they'll come down there and slap. I lost count how many times Conor got open hand slap in that fight. I've never seen anyone do that. I've never seen anyone do that in a fight like that.
Yeah.
I mean, open hand slaps.
Yeah.
Only this guy just disses it out. He gives it to whoever wants it. You want some slap, you're gonna get some Stockton slap out of here, and that's how that guy is moving. So, yeah, man, it's incredible. It's a good battle to look at coming back to Tony Ferguson. And there's another fight on the main card, and that's Ovin Semperu. And everybody, this guy is probably the most underrated motherfucker in the light heavyweight division.
Yeah, but you know why he's slept on? Because he's lost stupid fights.
He's lost stupid fights.
Fights you think, bro, you should have just blown through this motherfucker. Like, it should have even been a thing. And that's you're right. He is someone who is slept on. Clearly, UFC are trying to build this Lopez guy because he's undefeated. Reyes. Because he's undefeated.
Yeah. Whatever, Dominic Reyes, yeah. I mean, for me, it's when you look at it, is somebody that should be top 3 in light heavy. I think he's about 4 or 5 right now, and I think he should be in top 3. And he hasn't really got the opportunities. The last opportunity he had was with Anthony Rumble Johnson, and he knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was a crazy fight. I love that fight. That fight that was mad.
Yeah.
So
you see, you're looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to the Lewis Volkan fight. I love me some Derek, bruv.
Derek.
I love me.
I have to say that Derek Lewis, he's a monster on his day, and he throws caution to the wind. Francis Ngannou made him look really bad in the last fight. I mean, if there's any way, I don't know how you could make another fighter look bad, but Francis Ngannou made Derek Lewis look bad, and maybe this is the fight that really suits Derek Lewis. But in my opinion, I think Derek Lewis he really wants to leave fighting for now. He wants to get out of it because he's had these back problems for quite some time. He's trying to get over the back problem, and
so you don't even think he's trying to be champ?
No, I just think he's from what he said, from when he got married and he came out in the cage, announced it that, look, I'm getting married. I want some break from the UFC. I want to go and get my back looked at and, get it sorted. But since then, he's just been getting chucked fight after fight after fight. And it's not just...
But he's been winning, though.
He's been winning, but he's a company man. And sometimes looking after your health and coming back is a little bit more important, because when it's all said and done, and this is what the smart guys, people like DC, they're saying, it's not about being the company man. It's about looking after yourself first. Look at Dominic Cruz. Go look after yourself. Do some media work. Go look after yourself, then come back. Because Dominic Cruz is had to do that for the last couple of years, sort himself out while everybody else has been doing what they're doing. And now it looks like he's set to be back in a few months.
It would be a huge error if Derek Lewis, once he does get out of the game, doesn't have some sort of podcast or something. I would love to fucking...
It would be nice, isn't it? He's a proper shit talker, man.
Having said all of that, I see Lewis losing this fight. I'll be real, dude.
You think Lewis is going to lose?
I don't like this matchup for him.
Volkov is heavy-handed, didn't he?
Man. I don't like this.
He's heavy-handed, man.
I don't like this matchup at all for him. This feels like, do you know when Lewis fought Mark Hunt? It feels like that type of matchup.
Yeah. I mean, look, like I said, I think Lewis just gets offered this fight and is like a fuck it guy. I'll take the fight. Fuck it. I'll take the fight. That's the impression that I get from him. Even though he's announced this so many times.
He's like UFC's version of Dylan White. That's what he is.
Yeah, exactly. Just company man. I'll take that fight. And, even though it's hurting him, he can't say no. Yeah. So, I think there's got to be a cutoff point where is that he has to say enough is enough. I have to look after myself. Somebody's just mentioned in the comment, C-Law AFC, big up yourself. Leonard Onobahi, my guy. C-Law AFC just said, look at Cain Velasquez as well. His back has been fucked for a minute. Can't get back into it. And, this is the type of things that you have to be wary about. And it's tough for these fighters. They have to go through brutal weight cuts. And this is one of the things that bugs Conor McGregor. And in many ways, I agree with him, because they've had to sweeten this deal for him to come and do media work. Remember, at first he said he won't do media. Fuck the media. I'm not interested in the media, and I'm just gonna carry on doing my camp. And the proper 12 plug-in was allowed in the press conference, and now he's got to have his drink and his product on the canvas,
front and center. Yeah.
So they've chucked that in, to get him out to come and do this presser, and but doing press work and cut weight at the same time, like Conor said in the Mac Life interview, it's draining. It's proper draining. It drains your energy, drains your focus, but it's part of the obligations that you have to perform as a fighter, and everybody has to go through it. And they've said you're not the exception, but we'll throw you an extra bout if that's what it takes to come to get you to come do this media work.
Also, just to round off the main card, you got Michelle Waterson versus Felice
Herrig.
Yeah. What do you think of that fight? Because for me, with Michelle, this is almost a crossword fight for her now. She's got to win this.
I've got her down to win this fight. She's a high pressure
Karate girl, right?
high pressure fighter. She comes at you. She'll bring the fight to you. She'll walk you down in the octagon. I mean, the last fight that Felice was involved in, she just narrowly lost that. So I think it's a good fight. It's a good bout. I still say Michelle Watterson coming out victorious in this fight. It's just
Taps her out or something, or
um I think she gets it done by a head kick knockout.
okay.
She's that good. Um,
She's very. I do like her karate stance. When
yeah, yeah, very good. But
good looking too, to be
there's
honest.
there's one girl that I'm absolutely excited about in the women's division, and that's Torres. Um, this girl, I saw her when she came in through the Ultimate Fighter. Um, she's been there now a couple of years, and she's on her way up. And she's gonna be trouble for people like Jessica Andrade, and when that fight comes up, it's gonna be mayhem. And her wrestling is so good that I think the type of people she's going to be fighting when it does get to it, it's gonna be incredible. She's a very very exciting prospect, and I can't wait to see how she gets on. So Tatiana Torres, keep an eye on her. She's a brutal wrestler, very brutal. So yeah, it's just somebody that I wanted to give a special mention to.
Mm. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. So, just as we head towards wrapping things up, there are a few things that are happening this week. Obviously, if you're a very keen Khabib or Conor fan, you're breathing heavily for Friday. That's when the weigh-ins take place. That's when everyone's going to be like, oh, please make weight, please make weight, please make weight. And then obviously the presser, which I believe is on Thursday, with regards to just regarding in terms of just getting a final look at their mindset. Who knows? Me and Ola might jump on and do a little something after Thursday. Who knows? But going into this week, how crucial is it for the both fighters? What do you think they'll be both thinking?
It's a good thing you brought in the weights, the weigh-ins, and the weight cut and all of that in, because it's a factor, and it's something that a lot of people have been yeah, big up CeeLo, man. He just backed Tatiana, the girl I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's just backed it up as well. The Olympic background she's got. Thank you for backing that up, man. So going into the weigh-ins and the weight cuts. Currently, right now, Khabib is at 166. So everybody that's worrying that Khabib won't make weight, he will make weight, because today, a week away from the fight, well, few days away from weigh-ins, he's only got 10 pounds to lose.
Yeah,
which is
nothing.
Which is absolutely nothing.
Or a fighter is nothing to lose.
It's
10 pounds.
Nothing to lose. So
to you and I, that would be ridiculous.
Oh yeah. But these are professional fighters.
They do things like go into saunas and shit just so they can make it.
They do so much stuff to shed 10 pounds. It's not going to be a problem. And everybody that's like worried about Khabib not making weight, you only have to look at his last 3 fights. He's changed his nutritionist. He's changed the people around him. And the only time that Khabib really doesn't show up to fights is when there's Ramadan on. When there's Ramadan, during the time of Ramadan, his energy levels are slow. Obviously, not allowed to be to engage in combat sports because it's
well, that's
violent.
why October fight. He didn't want a September fight because that meant he would need to train during Ramadan, particularly the back end of Ramadan.
The back end, exactly. So he's somebody that's very very devoted to his faith. So we have to give him a little bit of latitude and respect on that. But on the other hand, in my opinion, he's shown that he can make weight. He done it with Michael Johnson. He made weight against Edison Barboza.
Yeah.
He's made weight against Ali Quinta. And this has been consistent over the last over the last few months. He's been very, very consistent with it. And, there's no reason to say that he wouldn't make weight this time. In my opinion, I think he's going to make weight. And um, I'm really, really excited about this bout. I think the weigh-ins is going to bring the most drama.
Yeah.
Because we've seen the presser, but the weigh-ins is where the real drama
once they both make weight and the fight's happening, short of a Tony Ferguson type of incident,
or DC falling into the ground against the speaker and
wearing fucking sunglasses on the inside and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
None of that.
Crazy, man.
None of that. So yeah, I mean, to me, I think, and just really kind of knowing this from a boxing perspective more than anything, I think they know it's a big fight. They'd both be G'd up for it for different types of reasons. But Conor, he's got to back his mouth now. He's got to back his actions now. So from his perspective, he'll be trying to make sure that everything is ticked. And I do think there is something in what Uriah said. I do think the large part of these 2 years, he has been working on his grappling. And let's be real here, I love Khabib. His boxing ain't that. It ain't that. I don't think Conor is that bad in terms of just general grappling. Whereas I think Khabib, as a boxer, he gets tagged too many times. The only thing that might save him is what you alluded to earlier. How good is that chin? Because if that chin is good, and judging by his fucking face in that interview for ESPN, someone has been testing that fucking chin. Someone has been testing that chin. So if
absolutely,
that's the case, then he may have enough to get his hands on Conor. And I think once he gets his hands on Conor, in my opinion, I think it's a wrap for him. It's going to be a long night. We know Conor likes gassing out quickly, and that's when Conor's on. Never mind when he's trying to get a motherfucker off it. So I can only see this being a 5-round domination.
I mean, sorry to cut you off. Khabib, as I said, is not interested in tapping out Conor. He's not interested. He wants the ref to have to stop it.
Yeah,
that's what Khabib wants to do.
Yeah.
Conor, on the other hand, he wants Khabib's head to be a bubble dog. One of them, one of them Churchill dog there. That's exactly, he wants it to be a bobblehead. So what's gonna happen in this fight? It's a fight of styles. One's got a wrestling, grappling style. One's really, really good with kickboxing and striking. And in my experience, and you only got to look at the list of champions in the UFC division. You go around and look at the champions there and tell me which one of them ain't really good at wrestling.
Yeah, it's true.
When I
think about it,
all the way from Henry Cejudo wrestling, he even dominated.
I think
Mighty Mouse.
Woodley relies on his punching, but he's got a good wrestling.
He's got a good his wrestling is way better, which is what he was. That's what he used to be off Till.
Yeah.
Cyborg, all these people, they might be good at striking, but their groundwork. Amanda Nunes.
Cyborg is a striker.
Yeah, but our jiu-jitsu, don't fuck with our jiu-jitsu. She's Brazilian, these people, they do jiu-jitsu in their sleep. Amanda Nunes, another striker, but do not fuck with her wrestling.
Yeah.
They all, go look at the list of champions.
Cormier, wrestler.
Cormier, go and look just in both divisions. Look at the resume of all the champions.
TJ, wrestler.
Just look at it.
Even though TJ knocked out Cody twice for that.
He is a wicked wrestler. He's a fantastic wrestler. So you look at all these guys, and the one thing they all have in common is they beat people that are strikers that come in front of them in wrestling. So, and I don't see this fight being any different. But then, Conor is a goddamn unicorn. He is a unique fighter, and You can't put
You don't
anything
want to
past him.
pick here. I noticed you don't want to pick. I put my stuff on the line, and I said,
You're trying to put,
I'm
you're
gonna
trying
get
to
more.
push me there. You're trying to get me there, man. But it's
Yeah,
hard.
man, you gotta make a call.
A lot of people look, a lot of professionals, and I've been following every single one of them on who they think is gonna win this fight. Nobody fucking knows. Nobody knows. I mean, I watched Inside the Octagon with Dan Hardy the other day, and even they don't know. And this guy gives you fantastic insight to the fighters and how they operate and their technical abilities talking about technical ability. What about Khabib's ego punch? I mean, if anybody does not know about Khabib's ego, it comes like like an uppercut, but it comes from the side. It disguises it like it's going to bring it as an uppercut, but catches you on the side. Go and check it out. Type in Khabib's ego punch, and you see what I'm talking about. And that's what he uses to to change his level. So when he wants to go level up and change his energy and keep man on the ground, apart from grabbing them and slamming them on the ground, he uses that ego punch, and we might see that against Conor, because if he wants to go strike for strike, it might be one of the weapons that he might use against Conor. But to choose who's gonna win, it's a hard one, very difficult. Although I got £70 on Khabib, I might have lost my money.
So make a decision. We ain't pussing footing around out here.
No, like I said, I've got £70 on Khabib.
So why do you think?
Because I've already I did say just now. Look at the trend of the champions and look at what they have in their skill set and their arsenal. It's got to do with wrestling and grappling.
Basing it on what the champions' skills are from other divisions.
Yeah, and Khabib is not going to change his game now. You know, he's not going to change his game to suit Conor.
Yeah,
He's gonna go to what is always worked for him, what he knows works best for him. And same as Conor. I don't see Conor changing his game. Conor's gonna come with exactly what he knows works for him.
It would be silly for Conor to start rolling on around with Khabib, because that would just be dumb. And similarly, it'd be silly for Khabib to think, all right, cool, let's start off trying to box this guy, because that would just be dumb.
You know where Conor has the advantage?
When they start.
When they start, exactly. In the first round. Because the fight starts standing.
Yes.
That's where Conor's got advantage. That's his advantage. So he's got vantage points already over Khabib.
Yeah.
Right? So
until the fight draws it out. Because we know Conor gasses, man. We know he gasses. We know that this is the thing. This is the thing. Don't get me wrong, he still would have got his ass smoked by Floyd, even if he hadn't gassed. But look at that fight, just on a basic level. Look at how he gassed in that fight. Look at how he gasses in every other UFC. The fucking Nate fight, my man gassed. He gassed.
True this.
Nothing more tiring than getting somebody off you. I don't care if it's boxing, I don't care if it's UFC. Just the act of getting somebody off you.
Everybody uses this same tactic against Conor. Look at Conor's last 3 fights. And I'm including Mayweather in this as well. He didn't try and get Conor out in the first, second, or third round.
Yeah.
He waited till the later rounds.
Yeah.
Everybody, Nate, they all do it. They wait till the later rounds. But Conor, in fairness to him, he said he's prepared for all eventualities. Is a legit legend of the sport now, and you should be practicing for 5 rounds. You should be out there, sparring for 5 rounds, and being out there, trying to win by points.
Let me ask you this. Let me flip it on you and ask you this: would it be terrible for the lightweight division if Conor wins it? We know he'll defend the belt.
No, I think it bring new life into the division, but you're asking the wrong question. The right question is this: does UFC want Conor to win the lightweight division over Khabib because it's more marketable? Hell fucking yes.
Yeah, they need him to. The UFC need him to win. I'm talking
Yes.
about the division itself.
The division itself, I
It'd be
think it'd be
terrible.
good for. Look, everybody in that division.
He don't defend belts.
Yeah, but they all want Conor. They all want Conor because Conor is the money fight. So we might actually see some good people step up and be given the chance to fight this guy. Will Conor defend the fights? He probably will. He's got a six fight deal, right? He's got a 6-fight deal. Do I think he'll do all the 6 fights? No.
No.
Do I think he'll?
I think it's more likely he'll box again. I think it's more likely he'll box again before he does that.
Do I think he'll cherry pick 3 fights out of the 6-fight deal he's got and get millions and millions and millions of dollars for doing it? Absolutely. And I think
who would those 3 fights be? Nate again. Let's put Nate as another one.
Nate trilogy has got to happen. So that's a given.
Yeah.
That's a given.
Yeah.
Tyron Woodley.
Oh, you think he'll go for Woodley?
Yeah, because it wants that. Look, Conor just only really wants to deal with champions. The only guy that's not really got a belt that's got history with is Nate, and he's happy to fight because it's a money fight. Yeah. So, and another money fight that I see him doing, maybe GSP. GSP is another one.
I could see that.
I could see GSP happening at 155. GSP doesn't really want to do 185 no more.
Can you see GSP next?
I don't see it next, but I see it in the next 3 fights.
Okay.
I see it in the next 3 fights. If Conor wins this fight, because Tony did not lose his belt.
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson did not lose his belt.
There are 3 people who can legitimately claim they're champions. Conor, Tony, and Khabib.
Yeah.
In that division.
Exactly. So none of them, Tony didn't lose his belt. So, I think if Conor wins, he would have legitimate right to, he'll be #1 contender for the belt. So that being said, just because you're #1 contender doesn't always mean you get to fight the champion when there's money fights lying about. So that's the world we live in with Dana White. Dana White is it fucked up everything for money fights. But I love super fights. What the fuck? I love super fights. Whatever super fight you want to bring along, keep bringing it. I'm enjoying what UFC is doing at the moment, even though it's screwing with the bottom of the division. But the super fights are really good. I love it, and long may it continue.
Okay. Well, so that's pretty much it from the UFC side. From the boxing side, I just wanted to quickly get your thoughts. I don't know if you managed to see the Fury Wilder.
The Wilder Fury.
Fucking hell.
Oh my God, I was cracking myself up.
I'll give him that.
Fury. You see these Irish people, man. You Irish man out there, I love you, look, man. Fucking hell, man. You can talk a hell of fucking man. I swear to God, man.
Let me get your early take on that. Who do you think win in that fight?
I can't see past Wilder. I'm sorry. I can't see past Wilder on that fight. Fury talks a good game.
Old Klitschko Fury would have whooped his ass. I'd have no doubt about that.
But then, I think Fury, if he fights clever enough, wins on points. But But I can't do. I'm just trying shit. I don't see past Wilder, man. I can't see past it.
Wilder's the more active. You're right. In theory, you are correct. If there's anyone that if there's a fight that is terrible for Wilder, in theory, it's Woodley. It's Woodley. It's Fury.
Yeah.
Fury is a terrible fight for him, stylistic. Because if Wilder doesn't land that right hand, I don't think he's got any ideas. I genuinely don't. I think once he doesn't have that right hand, he makes so many technical mistakes that I think Fury potentially could just lean back and pick him off. It's just I don't know, man. 2 years out that ring. All right, he's fought a couple of bums since then. But then, when the two people he's fought I could box, if the two people he's fought I could box, I'm thinking to myself, could you? Are you about this life? I don't know. Here's the thing. Every time I doubt Fury, he does something. The last time I doubted him was the Klitschko fight. I was sure Klitschko would do a demolition job on him. If anything, the only thing Fury didn't do was knock him out because he absolutely schooled him. So I will not be one that writes Fury off. I refuse to write.
No, I think Fury's got the technical ability to take the fight to the latter stages. Wilder doesn't really do latter stages sort of fights. It doesn't really go that far. So we don't know what his gas tank. We spoke about gas tank a lot tonight, and what's Wilder's gas tank like? We don't really know yet. And I think Fury could be the man to take him into the deeper waters and test that resolve. And he's still very as much as shit talking that Fury does, he's so technical. He's such a technical fighter, and he's got way more reach than Wilder. Wilder will have to come in. He'll have to come in on the inside.
And Fury, like Conor, has this way of making you believe in the impossible.
Yeah.
And making you put aside logic. Like, it's just like the Conor thing.
He said they're so good at it.
Yeah. Logically, there should be no reason why Khabib, a more active the champion, undefeated, his ground game is second to none, should lose to Conor McGregor. It shouldn't happen.
Conor's been out for 2 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Fury's been out for fucking 2 years. These guys have been active. We're all sitting down here saying, I don't see past Khabib, I don't see past Wilder, but then again, you bring yourself back to your senses and say, hold the fuck on. Wait a minute.
There are certain people who talk for the sake of talk. This is why I don't really pay attention to Colby too tough. Because Colby seems like one of them guys who's just talking because he's managed to talk himself into the right position, only for someone like a Woodley to knock him the fuck out, right? Whereas with people like Conor and people like Tyson Fury, these motherfuckers are different. Because they will talk and talk and talk. And you think to yourself, really, are you about this life? But then you listen to them long enough, you think to yourself, fucking hell, maybe you could actually do this.
Maybe it could actually. And if there's people that could pull it off, if there's sets of people in this world that could pull off shit like that, it's the Irish people. They got serious heart. They got serious heart. They got serious heart, and heart goes a long way in combat sport. Goes a fucking long way.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So, that's pretty much it from us. Was there any final thoughts you wanted to leave the people with?
I just want to say it's a very, very exciting week. We've got a very fantastic week with Arsenal, with the fight week. So there's a lot of stuff to look forward to on this channel, on this platform. Thanks for the support from everyone, all of you that's been supporting us, that stayed with us. It's been fantastic, and hopefully we'll be able to put something out in regards to the second press conference and the weigh-ins, maybe after the fight, and we'll see where it takes us. Thank you lot for the support.
I completely echo Ola's comments, because to be honest with you, Ola, I'll probably watch that damn fight live. So if you're on watching that live, I know you probably will work the next day, but
I'm working the next day still. but I will watch it. I will watch it. I'll get up probably about 4:30 to watch that main card.
Okay.
And the co-main. So I'll watch the co-main and the main card.
Okay.
So
if
definitely,
I might just give you just a quick Google Hangout call and see if you're up.
Yeah. We could do that. Depends if I have friends here as well.
Where you're at. Yeah.
No. Usually, I always got a hell of a amount of people in my yard watching fights together. So
Okay.
it depends. It depends on all of that. But we'll see. We might be able to do that if people are up and they're watching it live. We might be able to do something. You know what I mean? Why
Okay.
not? I'll
Cool.
be up for that.
So in that case, look out for that on Saturday, because I think that, to me, this has got to be a fight I've got to watch live. I can't do none of this later shit. So keep an eye out on that. If you guys liked this preview of ours, absolutely crush, destroy, drop kick the shit out of that like button. I appreciate every time you guys do that. Really looking forward to this week. Gonna do a preview of who the fuck are we playing again? Vorskla?
No. We got Azerbaijan, Karabag, Azerbaijan.
Carrier bag. Yeah.
Karabag, that's the one.
Well, we got them on Thursday away, so I'll preview that game tomorrow. I'll review that game on Thursday. And then we've obviously got Fulham away this Sunday. So
Sunday, which I'll be working, but I'll be watching it on the road.
Yeah. So I've actually got Monday off, so I'll definitely be watching that game.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I'll review that game too. So keep an eye out for that. Anyway, guys, we're out of here. If you're listening to us for the first time, hit that subscribe button. I do mainly Arsenal football, but started recently to do this MMA boxing stuff with Ola. So hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll be back soon. So take care. Peace from me.
Salute.
A salute from Ola. Take care, man.